great little tool to have with you. But I also noticed something else about the book. Even for people who are, maybe they don't have a 9-to-5 job, or they have various different types of things or projects that they do, you can also glean from this book. It really is about developing yourself personally and then developing relationships as you go from either work environments or project-to-project environments. I cannot say enough about this book, but we're very happy that we're going to be presenting it on the program. And next, we have an exclusive book launch on Storytellers Campfire, and we're going to hear about that from Rich.
You will. We do. Storytellers Campfire radio show is very happy to announce that on June 24th through the 28th, I'll be your host for our Author's Voice segment featuring an exclusive book launch of Terry Irvin's new novel, Warrior. Warrior is the sequel to his critically acclaimed thriller, Courier. So you can hear all about Terry Irvin's new thriller, Warrior, only on Storytellers Campfire, beginning on June 24th. Heard on our partnering radio broadcast stations, including international radio, digital, HD, and satellite radio, as well as internet radios such as Spreaker, Blog Talk Radio, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Tumblr, and SoundCloud. You'll find links to our programs on social media such as YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, and LinkedIn. So I want the audience to be sure to tune in to the exclusive book launch of Terry Irvin's new book, Warrior, only on Storytellers Campfire on June 24th. And so, back to you, Charlie.
Hello, this is, we're talking about the Charlie Checkers Show on June 30th for My Life in a Nutshell by Tanya J. Peterson. Now, this book is about it is from Tanya J. Peterson is the Marvel Award-winning author for 2014 for Losing Elizabeth. And My Life in a Nutshell is about Brian Cunningham. He's a brilliant and talented man who's been crippled by panic attacks and extreme anxiety. Now, Brian has issues, of course, but he has carefully built his world so that when he interacts with others, he severely limits interaction with the people he's around. And though he can not change his own situation, he discovers that somehow he's the only person 7-year-old Abigail Cunningham can trust. She's been bounced from one foster home to another, and she unexpectedly comes to live with aunt and uncle who do not have children, and she doesn't know this couple. So for very different reasons, both Brian and Abigail are trapped in a socially and emotionally isolated lives. So the question is, can they learn from each other? We will find out. Charlene Martel of the Literary Word has this to say about My Life in a Nutshell. It's compelling and heart-wrenching read with characters you just want to hold in your heart and never, ever let go. I find myself yearning to revisit this novel in the hope that a few more chapters magically appeared. It's easily one of my favorite reads for 2014. High praise indeed from Charlene Martel of the Literary World. So I really look forward to all of the listeners joining me as I review My Life in a Nutshell by Tanya J. Peterson.
it's Niecy Nash, taking a break from my new TV Land sitcom, The Soul Man, to talk to all you moms out there. My character Lolly is a mom too, and she's pretty fierce when it comes to protecting her family. But all moms need to remember to take care of themselves too, especially when it comes to heart disease. It's the #1 killer of women, but you can reduce your risk through healthy diet and exercise. So spread the word and take care of yourself. Find out more at GoRedForWomen.org.
Welcome back to Storytellers Campfire in progress. Wow, we've heard a lot of different things on the show tonight. I really enjoyed listening to all the different show themes that's going to be utilized for all the different shows. I think that clearly distinguishes, the sound for international radio tours versus the summer reading program. And it's kind of nice for our listeners to hear all of this tonight, so that way as we go forward on our shows, you'll know that Storytellers Campfire has a theme, but then so do all the other shows as well. What do you think of some of those show themes?
Yeah, I love it. Mine's really jazzy. Just like me, I love that. That's kind of, like my smooth jazz and stuff. I really like that. It's really nice.
Yes, it is very nice. And speaking of that jazzy theme, I believe that's kind of, you're very much into dancing, and you like, I think you said Dave Koz was one of your favorite jazz musicians. So it kind of flows right along with you.
Yeah. Yes, I like Kenny G, Boney James, I think her name Etta Fitzgerald. The kind of the R&B, the bluesy. Sometimes I like a lot of the older stuff too. But saxophone music, and jazz is my favorite.
How about you, Rich? Do you have a favorite category of music?
I love all music. I really do. Although I must say this month I'm really attuned to cowboy music. But there really isn't much music that I don't like. I pretty much love it all.
Yeah, I kind of find I'm like that too. I find that I like a lot of different categories of music. I have one that I'm more favored to classical. But yeah, it's kind of fun to have all different types of genres, featured on the program.
Does that happen as we get older? Sorry.
Pardon?
Does that happen when we get? Does that happen when we get older? Like sometimes, like I always used to have, like Bob Seger and all that. But as I got older, I started listening to some bluegrass, or R&B and stuff like that, and getting more away from the pop, top 40 charts and all that. And then I started listening to, the saxophone music and smooth jazz, and I like all kinds now. It's not just one, like the younger generation or the time in which you were living, like the 80s or the 90s, then you're expanding the categories you're listening to and learning that you can enjoy all kinds of music.
I think that's true. When I was younger, it was primarily Beach Boys, dancing music, and there was some rock in there and a little bit of pop, but I definitely wasn't into country or folk music. But I think as we grow and expand our horizons just in general, we have a tendency to broaden out. And I developed actually a love of classical music from composing. I would study some of the composers, and so I just use small instruments. However, it really helped me to appreciate classical music better.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So I liked that. So we have one more announcement, which is really something that we've all been looking forward to. And we have a new show with a new host coming on the program. And this is not someone that will probably be a surprise to anyone, because he has been on the program before. So the show that is going to be airing, and we're announcing it in June now because you'll be hearing commercials about it throughout the month of June. But the show that we are in reference to is entitled Don't Give Up Your Daydream, Transitions in a Transitioning World. Now, this is going to be hosted by John Knuckle. And it's really interesting how John developed the idea for the show and how he developed, the things that he would want to feature. And one of the things that I noticed, and Rich, feel free to jump in, any time, is that John talks a lot about, he has a career in the financial world. He's from the financial arena, which gave him the experiences that led him to writing this amazing trilogy. But then, in addition to that, writing of the books, it also helped him realize that he always had wanted to be a writer. Did he not mention that on your show?
He has, and actually he's mentioned it to me personally on a number of occasions in some of the other programs we've done where we previewed his other books. So he's a fascinating person. Even the name of the new program, Don't Give Up Your Daydream. I mean, there's a lot of different connotations you can take from that. He gets so much of his